Shabbat Shalom to the house of Isolale, to all the Bantus and the children of Isolale. We praise Yah for another Sabbath. Before I get started on today's lesson or message, I like to read a scripture pertaining to the last two Sabbaths message, the distortion of time and laws. This is Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. What profit hath he that worketh in that wherein he laboureth? I have seen the travail which Yah hath given to the sons of men to be exercised in it. So Yah has placed all these things, the different times and seasons, the different seasons to do certain things, to do what he has placed in his scriptures. So, just to end this, as it says in the beginning, there's a time and place, a time for everything. To every season, there is a season. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. So whatever we do in life, we can't just all do just one thing all the time. We can't always speak. So there's so many people I've been encountered with that all they want to do is just talk. And there's a time to be quiet. Just shut your mouth. I learned this the hard way. When people, or you're in a disagreement with your spouse or disagreement with a friend or whoever, there's a time that you got to learn just to shut up, no matter what, even if you're right and you know you're right. But there's a time just to shut up and just leave it alone. So everything under heaven, everything under the sun, there's a time and a season for it. And we have to learn those things. To Yah be the glory. Now, for today's message, I'm going to be doing something a little different. I don't know. Most High has in my past when I used to preach before a congregation. There's times that I prepare. I always would prepare in a certain way. I have my scriptures. Sometimes I'll write a script. But not always. I would write a script. So, no, not that. Truth. The oldest and greatest endangered species. Truth. The oldest and greatest endangered species. We live in a time where truth is hard to come by. We live in a time where truth is harder and harder to be known. But it's available to those who really have a heart for truth, that are not afraid of truth. Because there's an old saying, the truth hurts. But it doesn't mean it is hurtful. So in other words, when your mind is really not set on truth, but you want to do right. You want to do right, and sometimes you're not really accepting of truth. Truth is facts that cannot be disputed. You can try to dispute it. You can try to deny it. You can say all the things that you want. But truth will always weigh out in the end. And we have to be lovers of truth. Why does it keep going to time? Okay. I don't know why that kept on going to time. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. So when I first started, I was saying about when I used to preach. So I'm just going to be searching out scriptures. I wish I could do this live so I can have feedback. I haven't learned how to do these little computer tricks where you go live and you have however many people that want to join in your live stream. I don't have 10 followers, or actually 11. I don't mind a small audience. I come from my background, and this is the thing that we have to take note of too. In the organization I grew up in, when you speak, when you obey the commandments, and you proclaim the commandments, you're going to really have very few friends. And I mean true friends. You're going to have very few true friends. You're going to have, when you obey the commandments, you will have very few friends. And that is my life experience, that I have found very few friends. So the people I grew up with, and some I still are in contact with, acquaintances, somebody that you know, that you're familiar with, but you really cannot call a friend because they don't believe like you believe. They don't think like you think. So the Messiah said, wide is the gate, wide is the way that lead into the path of destruction, and many there be that go in thereat. But straight is the way and narrow is the way that leads into the path of righteousness, and few there be that find it. So don't expect your family members, don't expect people that you love. Don't expect people that you love to love you the same way. That's something I had to come to grips with. It's very hard for me. But eventually the Most High strengthened my mind to bear that cross. So I'm just gonna be gathering scriptures as I go. I haven't wrote. Only thing I wrote down was the title. So I'm just gonna, I'm praying that the Most High guide me in His Word, and that you would be edified. I want always to be a person that can edify the people of Yah. All right. So I'm gonna start in Psalms. A Psalm of David. This is Psalms 15th chapter, verse 1. I think I'll be reading 1 and 2. Who shall abide in thy tabernacle? Who shall dwell in thy holy hill? He that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness and speaketh the truth in his heart. Going to 3. He that backbiteth not with his tongue, nor doeth evil to his neighbor, nor taketh up a reproach against his neighbor. Don't be accuser. In whose eyes, verse 4, in whose eyes a vile person is condemned, but he honoreth them that fear Yah. He that sweareth to his own hurt and changeth not. He that putteth not out his money to usury, nor taketh reward against the innocent, he that doeth these things shall never be moved. So, the psalmist David is asking a question to the people of Yah. Dawidi is asking, who shall abide? He's actually talking to the Almighty. He's actually talking to the Almighty. A Psalm of David, Yahweh, who shall abide in thy tabernacle? Who shall dwell in thy holy hill? This is the Most High's reply. He that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness and speaketh truth in his heart. Now, all those things that the Most High spoke in the first verse are synonymous to everything, is pertaining to everything that follows. So if you walk uprightly, working righteousness, and speaketh truth in your heart. So what is uprightness? What is righteousness? And what is truth? All those things are pertaining to those that not just keep the law, but love the law, that love the Messiah. And you can't love the Messiah and not honor the law. You can't love the Almighty Yah, not love the Messiah, and think you're keeping the law. You can't keep the law without the Messiah. Those things are all truth. And those things have been under attack ever since the fall of Adam. Excuse me. My beloved wife made me ginger and homemade ginger and turmeric tea with lemon, and I put some honey. Very delicious when you put enough honey in it and lemon. But the key thing is to make it work properly, you got to put a little black pepper. So the black pepper works along with the turmeric, and it will reduce inflammation. You let it get in your system, and you go to, if they don't have turmeric root, just buy whatever type of turmeric there is. If it's just even if it's just the spice in a little jar, you can do it that way. And the thing about the biggest and greatest thing about ginger, no matter how you take ginger, it's still effective. It doesn't lose its potency. You can take like the ginger powder you use in cooking, or whatever form the ginger is in, it's beneficial to you. Okay, anyway. Truth and righteousness have been under attack. The sun is bright in my face. Truth and righteousness have been under attack from the beginning. Even so, more now today in these days and times. So if you are a avid YouTube person that seeks truth, because there's that at one point there was a lot of truth being revealed. A lot of truth is coming to view on YouTube. And one of the biggest things was, as far as I know, one of the biggest things, there's two of the biggest things. Two things kind of start happening at the same time. That the truth about where we live in this earth, and the truth of who we are as a people. Who we are as a people. Those two things basically started happening at the same time. Is that a coincidence? No, not a chance. So I explained to you the truth about flat Earth. I believe I explained to you that as a child, let's say between the age of 10, I'll just say about 10 years old. I can't really think any too much farther past that. But when I was a child, I was, most of us went to church because we had to go to church, because mama and daddy said, you going to church, right? But all my friends, whether they went to church or not, went to church on Sunday. I was going to church on what the world calls Saturday, the seventh day. So I was made to go. And it was difficult when you're just you and your family in a town that you know of that keeps the Sabbath. Now, there was a few people that we knew that were Seventh-day Adventists that lived in a town near us, but we really didn't run with the same crowd, if you don't understand what I mean. So, because we saw them, we would have worship at my parents' house. We've had Sabbath worship, and then sometimes we would fellowship with the Black Seventh-day Adventist people. But that doesn't hold. The strength of those relationships doesn't hold, because when you believe that in the entirety of the commandments, when you believe in the law, you're striving to obey the law of the Most High, there's a spirit that goes with that. That's the spirit of truth, which the Messiah, Yehoshua, in the New Testament speaks about the spirit of truth. So truth is not just something you do or something you think. It's a spirit. These things have spirits. There's a spirit of truth, spirit of righteousness, all those things are synonymous. It comes from the same energy source. It all comes from the Most High Yah. So SDA people, they don't believe in the Ruach, the Mu'anan Semi. They don't believe in the spirit of Yah. Like, basically, I have a Pentecostal background, but I have a Pentecostal background with the commandments. And that's a difference between somebody that's growing up in a Pentecostal environment and keeping Sunday. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. And I thank the Almighty for my foundation. So anyway, the Most High spoke to me as a very young man, very young boy, that this is exactly what he spoke to my mind. You are a natural born Jew. He spoke that to my mind. I know it, as a child, you really don't, you don't, I didn't, I was only 10 years old approximately. And at that age, you really don't realize when a thought comes to your mind. Well, sometimes a thought comes to your mind like that, or something close to it, or something for you to do or not to do. Sometimes we don't realize that that's the spirit of Yah speaking to us. That's the Almighty Yah uh, working in us in His own way. So, 10 years old, I grow up, graduate high school, become a cabinet maker, and then I get old enough to start hanging out, start doing stuff bad for me. And instead of running towards what I was brought up in, I was running from it. And glory be to the Almighty that He had His hand on me the whole time. It's too bright. He had His hand on me the whole time. So I joined the military, and things started happening when I was in the military that pushed me back towards my upbringing, back towards my roots. And slowly but surely, the Most High just started working in me. And eventually, I got recalled to the Army during 1991 Desert Storm. Got recalled. So when I went back, some stuff happened that I really don't want to go into it. And met a young lady while I was there, and fell in love with her. I wanted to marry her, but they believed in the Sabbath. They believed in they believed in the Spirit, but there was pieces missing in their belief system. And they believed in eating swine's flesh. Well, it really didn't jive with me, because when I tell you I believed in the commandments, I believed in the commandments. I was the church I grew up in. We didn't eat unclean food. We believed in obeying the dietary laws of the Most High. So, of course, that never worked out. But while we was, in this long distance relationship, the Most High filled me with the Ruach HaKodesh, the Mu'andan sent me. Now, my experience is my experience. Your experience is your experience. And how the Most High works in people, He don't work in people. everybody the same way. This is about truth. This is not my truth. This is not your truth. This is truth. The Most High does not work in people the same way. The Most High did not endow me with the gift of healing. The Most High did not endow me with different types of gift. Now, it doesn't mean that he can't and he won't. But as it goes right now, I know what my gift is. I know what he has endowed me with. And it is a proclaimer of his law. A proclaimer of his law. I study the law. I grew up in the law. So that's what I try to do, and I don't always do it well, but I have a mind to do it well. So that's about truth. Okay? That's about truth. So everything under heaven, there's a time and place. There's a time and season. Yahweh, who shall abide in thy tabernacle? Who shall dwell in thy holy hill? He that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness and speaketh truth in his heart. So all these things, these three things, and everything following it, he that backbiteth not with his tongue. So this is something I believe people don't take account of. That everything you do in your body, when you blink, an involuntary action, right? Blinking is an involuntary reaction. You don't have to tell yourself to blink, right? But every function of your body, me talking right now, right? So there's times where you'll hear me pause. I will pause. I'm thinking in my mind, should I say that? Or I'm gathering my thoughts. Should I say that? Or what to say? Or whatever. So people that talk a lot of times they do not stop and think what they're saying. But still, it has to, the function in your brain has to tell your mouth what to say. You follow what I'm saying? When it's in your mind, things are going on in your mind that you really don't take account of. Me moving my hand. Now, I have a hurt shoulder, and I ask you all to pray for me because I'm going to need surgery on my shoulder. But I want to lift my arm up. You can see. I'll show you. You can see. I want to lift my arm up. I'm telling my mind, my mind is telling my arm to move up. I'm trying to move it up, but I can't. That's the problem of my shoulder. Okay? So anyway, things have to take place in the mind before they come to action, before you do them. So in your mind, you say you want to move your hand, you move your hand. You want to say something, your mind is triggering some kind of way to tell you what to say. Right? Excuse me. Okay. Back to scriptures. So you get my point, hopefully. Okay. That was Psalms 15th chapter. Lead me in thy truth and teach me. Okay. I'm just going through, I'm sorry. This may be kind of difficult for sometimes I just don't have enough time. But this is how the Most High led me to do this. I don't know why. Okay. Go to Psalms 100. Psalms 100. I'm going through 1 through 5. No. Verse 5. For Yahweh is good. His mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth to all generations. Now, immediately my mind goes to a scripture called says that for Yah is never left without a witness. So his truth endures to all generations. Now, this is the thing that we were removed from our heritage, right? So my great grandfather who raised my father, I heard he was a Mason. My grandfather was a Mason. I didn't know him. He was my great grandfather, but he raised my father. So my father was raised by his grandparents. So my father's mother went to church. My father was raised here. My grandmother moved out east to the East Coast and had other children by another man. So, but eventually she started see when you have a mind for truth, that's the Most High working in you. When you have a mind to seek truth, to know truth, that's the Most High working in you because He is truth. So we can't seek truth of our own. So she would go to Baptist church, right? The Baptists really didn't back then they call it holiness, okay? So holiness was basically kind of like Pentecostal movement or whatever, how you want to express it. So my grandmother was an avid studier of the word also. And as she's reading the word and the Most High is enlightening her mind, she told me this story. She told me the whole story. This is kind of like that oral tradition. It was the oral traditions that we used to have back in the motherland and the homeland, right? So she was telling me as she's praying to the Almighty, I don't see people doing this. I don't see people keeping your word like it says in the scriptures. So the Most High started working in her heart and he guided her to, I guess, the Church of God in Christ. Well, they believed in the Spirit. I'm saying like that intentionally. They believed in the Spirit. Okay, that's holiness. Now, you got to remember, this is like, I don't know, back in the what 30s, 40s, something like that, maybe 50s. I don't know. Um, so she stayed with the Church of God in Christ for a while. And the more she studied, the more the Most High kept on enlightening her and enlightening her. He said, well, why they ain't keeping the Sabbath? How come they ain't keeping the Sabbath? So he one Sabbath day he guided her to a SDA church. Now the SDA church, they believe in the Sabbath to a certain degree. They believe in eating clean. And most of them believe in veganism. Not veganism, vegetarianism. They believe in being vegetarians for the most part. So they ate clean. They believe in the Sabbath. They believe in the Sabbath. Now, believing and doing is thin line. So, see, yeah. They believe in the Sabbath. They eat clean. But there's no spirit here. There's no spirit here. Your spirit ain't here. So eventually, the Most High motivated my grandmother to get on a bus and come all the way from Rochester, New York, all the way to California. And the Most High, here we go, about time. Time. He brought her to Los Angeles, and she got off the bus, and how she describes it. She said, he had me walking at a certain pace on a Saturday. And just as she was passing this street or this block, a group of people came out of this storefront church, all dressed in white. And the Most High spoke to her and said, there's your people. My grandmother prayed to the Most High. And she was that person that was like, she constantly would be in conversation with the Most High. And she said, if you bless me, I'll be here next Sabbath day. She went the next Sabbath day, joined the church, and brought my mother's side of the family to the church and her side of the family to the church. And eventually my father became an elder in that church. And that's just a little of how I got here. I'm the youngest out of five. And I'm the only one that's striving to keep the statutes, and judgments and commandments of the Most High. Although we all was taught the same thing. So, for Yahweh is good, and his mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth to all generations. He is never left without a witness. So, although we were removed from our heritage, we were not removed as a people 100% from our heritage, because in every generation truth endures. So the truth of Yah has to continue in every generation. And Yah knows how to bring truth forth to every generation. And I'm glad to be able to participate in that process. So if we as a people love truth, no matter the difficulties we have to go through to receive and to seek and express and give truth, the Most High makes a way. The Most High is the way maker. The Most High, the Almighty Yah. It is him that does the work, as Paul said. Okay, let's try this one. Psalms 119, verse 142. The righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is truth. See that? Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is truth. You see that? You cannot separate righteousness from the law. You cannot separate truth from the law. And you can't separate Yah from the law. You can't separate Yehoshua from the law. Okay? I think I'm going to move on to the New Testament. Let's see what we got here. Okay, here we go. That's not it. That I might make thee know the certainty of the words of truth, that thou mightest answer the words of truth to them that send unto thee. Check this out. Psalms 23. No, Proverbs 23. 23 and 23. That was Proverbs 22 and 21. Buy the truth and sell it not. Also wisdom and instruction and understanding. So all those are spirits of the law. That is the spirit of the law. Buy the truth and sell it not. So when you in order to buy something, you have to find it. You got to know where it's at. And once you find it, you do whatever you have to do, sell whatever you have to sell to get the truth. Once you have the truth, don't let it go. Buy the truth and sell it not. Why does it say in that way? Because it's invaluable. You can't put a price on truth. That's why the Most High gave me this title, The Truth, the Oldest and Greatest Endangered Species. So as I was saying before about YouTube, the truth of flat earth came out. And when it started growing in popularity, these fools got scared. It started growing in popularity to a degree that people knew how to align the word of Yah with that ideology to prove that if you're in truth, you got to see this. The elements pertaining to flat earth are completely scriptural. The firmament, where the moon, sun, and stars dwell. If you look up the word of that firmament, the word firmament, it means solid expanse. So there's a solid expanse. When you look up at the sky, you see the sun in the daytime, the moon at night, the stars at night. People have taken pictures of time lapse photography where wherever part of the country they're in, or wherever, you can see the time lapse photography, and the stars look like they're rotating. They're like going in a circle. And that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. But they're encased in a solid expanse. This is the mystery of heaven. Okay? This is about truth. That truth, when people start spreading like wildfire. When the knowledge of us being Hebrews started populating, Satan started moving too. He started planning tares among us. I'm gonna do a message on the wheat and tares. I'm gonna do a message on the wheat and tares. I'm gonna do a message on the wheat and tares, and I'm gonna break it down where you really understand who is for you and who's not for you, who's working on the behalf of Satan and who's not working on behalf of Satan. You're gonna know. So when this truth comes out, let's see how well you can digest it. When you set forth your mind, I'm going to say this again, start studying the first 5 books. Study, get that in you. Start studying the first 5 books. That's truth. That is truth. And you get that first 5 books in you, you start practicing keeping the Sabbath, start eating clean, and whatever else you're doing that you're not supposed to do, and start seeking Yah with all your heart, then you will be found of Him. then you can understand what Yehoshua was talking about, what the apostles and the disciples are talking about, what Paul is talking about. But until you can bring those two together, you got to know what the first 5 says before you really understand the New Testament in its proper context. The truth of the matter, the New Testament, as we're reading the New Testament, the days of the Messiah, the days of the apostles, the days of Paul and all the other apostles, the New Testament did not exist. It was only in existence the law and the prophets. The law and the prophets was the only thing in existence. The compilation of the New Testament didn't come till 200 to 500 or even maybe more years later. So when you hear preachers saying, the law is done away with, we're no longer under the law. Let me explain that one to you. When Paul said you are no longer under the law, when you're under something, if you're under the law, that means you are under the penalty, the jurisdiction, the judgment of said law. So if you're driving down the street and you run a red light or run a stop sign, you are now under the law. And a cop has every right to pull you over and give you a ticket or whatever. Sin is the transgression of the law. So if sin is the transgression, is the breaking of the law, you are under the law. But if you are striving to keep the law, statutes, and commandments and judgments of the Most High, you are not under the law. The law is freedom. The law frees you from bondage. So if you're under something, you're under the weight of it. If you're under something, there's a weight there. There's a weight there. If you're under something, whether it's heavy or light, you're under something. So when Paul said you are no longer under the law, but under grace, because you can't have grace without keeping the law, statutes, commandments, and judgments of the Most High. Why do you think he said Noah found grace in the eyes of the Most High? Because he was obeying the law. The law did not just come across, did not come at the Exodus. You got to remember, the law is spirit and they are life. That's what the Messiah was talking about. He said, the words that I speak, they are spirit and they are life. Everything he spoke was according to the law. The words that I speak, they are not mine. They are from the Father. Truth. This is why, in my experience, in keeping the Sabbath, Satan, I have witnessed through my father, in my personal experience, Satan has fought our people against the Sabbath tooth and nail. Satan has I mean, Sabbath, the Sabbath was one of the greatest law that Satan had fought against. Why? Because it is from the beginning. The Sabbath is that reconciler. The Sabbath is that great reconciler of Yah and his people to bring us back to the beginning of our foundation. Thank you, Yah. Thank you, Yah. Let me go to Exodus. I'm going to show you something. I'm just going according to how Yah has lead my mind. Okay. Exodus 31. No. Exodus 30. Let's see. I'm sorry, please bear with me. I should know this at the top of my head. Yeah, Exodus 31. Exodus 31 and 12. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, Esolele, Yah forgive me. Speak thou also unto the children of Esolele, and saying, Verily my Sabbaths ye shall keep. For it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am Yahweh that doeth sanctify you. So the Sabbath, not only the Sabbath, but the Sabbaths. Now I've told you that they're going into the land. So they are practicing in the wilderness the feast days. He's making known his feast days to them. The Sabbath is a weekly feast, and the other feasts are annual feasts. Those are Sabbath. Those are Sabbaths. That's why it's in a plural. That's why it has S at the end. Verse 14. This is 31 and started at 31 and 12. This is verse 14. Ye shall keep the Sabbath, therefore, for it is holy unto you. Everyone that defileth it shall surely be put to death. For whosoever doeth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people. That stands today. You see how important the Sabbath is? The Most High, this is the Most High, this is the Most High speaking. This is Most High speaking. So when the Messiah was on the mountain to be tempted by Satan, and he said, if you be the Son of Man, command these stones to be made bread. He said, it is written in Deuteronomy, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yah. Yah spoke the commandments to his people. Exodus 20. Yah spoke his law, statutes, and commandments and judgments to Moses to give to the people. Okay? 6 days may work be done, but in the seventh it is the Sabbath of rest, holy to Yahweh. Whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. The Most High ain't playing. So that's why he tells us to come out of her, my people. Come out of her, my people, and be not partakers of her plagues. Death is coming, and it's already here. This was the first thing the Most High let me understand when he led me to that scripture in Daniel, the prophecy in Daniel, where it says that this individual, this beast figure, will think to change times and laws, and they shall be given unto his hands for times and dividing of times. Think to change. So you can think to do something, don't mean so. So what does it mean? It shall be given into his hands. He shall think to change times and laws, and they shall be given unto his hand. So if the Most High is never left without a witness, his truth endureth to all generations, right? And this authority figure that's against the Most High is going to think to change times and laws. So the Most High is there was a I can't remember where it's found, but there in I think in Chronicles or First and Second Chronicles, Book of Kings, Samuel, somewhere in there, where this person did not want to do what the Most High said, and the Most High kept on telling him, "Do what I tell you, do what I tell you." And there was an angel said, "I'll go down and be a lion spirit to him. I'll be a lion spirit." So okay, the Most High says, "Okay, fine." So because this individual did not want to obey the Most High, obey the instruction, specific instruction to the Most High, of the Most High, the Most High allowed a lying spirit to go down and lie to him. I can't remember. I have to look it up. But some of you might be familiar with that. Some of you might not. So when we refuse to obey the Almighty, when we refuse to obey the Almighty, he has every right to send a seducing spirit, a lying spirit. And if we're not careful, where he said that he in the New Testament, he said that their hearts have been seared with a hot iron. That you no longer will recognize what is truth and what is a lie. In Isaiah, it says, saying that, how's that go? Saying that evil is good and good is evil. Your mind is completely reprobate. That's the word I wanted to use. You are in a state of reprobation. Your mind is reprobate. You have no longer the knowledge of truth or the knowledge of a lie. You got to be careful. So the Most High, you and know, try the spirits. How do you try the spirits? Go back to what I said earlier. I've been saying this, been preaching this. Study the law. Because the Most High will never speak against his law. He will never speak against his word. He will never speak against his truth. So we have to endeavor, have a heart and a mind to seek and know the truth of the Most High. Because Satan's coming. He's coming. When you have a mind and a heart desire to seek the truth, he's coming after you. To discourage you, to derail you, to do whatever, because I don't know. I only know what the Most High has done in my life and kept me from. But he may have a greater work for you. And believe it or not, Satan knows the work he has for you to do. And if your work that the Most High has you to do is a threat to Satan's kingdom, guess what? He's coming after you, and the Most High Yah is allowing him. So we need to gear up. That's what the in where it says, put on the whole armor of Yah, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand therefore with the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, having your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, your loins girded about with truth, and the shield of faith, and the sword of the Spirit, which is his word, which is his law. All those things, all those elements of the armor of Yah, all those elements of the armor, y'all, all those, the individuals, that's the armor. When you remove one part of that, you no longer have armor. Put on the whole armor of Yah. You can't have proper protection without the breastplate of righteousness. Your mind with the helmet, it's helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness. I think that's what it is. But you have to have all those things in place that we can withstand the attacks of Satan. And the shield of faith, the sword of the Spirit, which is his word. All those things work in conjunction to protect us. All those things work in conjunction to be offense and defense. Offense and defense. To protect us from the attacks of Satan. So when you try the Spirit, you have to try the Spirit by the word of Yah. You have to try the Spirit by the word of Yah. You cannot try the Spirit by the Spirit, because there are seducing spirits. Please listen to me very well. There are seducing spirits. The Bible says in the last day evil men shall wax worse and worse. So if evil men are waxing worse and worse, how are they waxing worse and worse? Why are they, excuse me, why are they waxing worse and worse? They're servants of Satan. He said, Satan is as a roaring lion, walking about seeking whom he may devour. So another place it says he's going about raging because he knows he has but a short time. He knows that he has but a short time. So the days are coming that we have not, these things have been prophesied, people. The Most High, the Messiah. See, this is the problem when you eliminate the Messiah, you miss a lot of stuff. There's no salvation without the Messiah. There's no salvation without the law. You have to have the law and the Messiah. He prophesied these things those days are gonna come, that if, how did it go? Unless those days shall be shortened, no flesh shall be saved. No human shall be saved. Nobody, unless those days be shortened. The days are coming where the earth will be engulfed in wickedness. But he said, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. He's shortening the days. He's been shortening the days as long as I can remember. He's been shortening the days as long as I can remember. Now the days are going by like this. That's for our sake. That's for the elect's sake. That we can make it through, because the persecution is going to be so severe that he's going to give us strength in the time that we need it to make it through until the day of his reconciling and the day of vengeance coming. The day of vengeance is coming. We just have to hold on. We just have to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of Yah. It's about truth. Truth. Okay. I'm just about done. Okay. To Yah be the glory. I hope y'all getting a lot out of this. Please, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up, and please leave your comments. Please express yourself, that I know I'm doing, that you're getting something out of it, or if you feel I need to improve in an area. I'm not shy of criticism. I'm not shy of criticism, because I always want to do better. I always want to grow and know where I've come short. I'm going to get one more scripture. Maybe two. Ye are of this is John the eighth chapter, verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Now, the eighth chapter of John, I believe this is the one where it reveals the true identity and a kind of of the Pharisees. So when if you have access, the book of Maccabees takes place during the Greek Empire. Now, when you go through that, you will see that the descendants of Esau made league with the Greeks, and so the Greeks took over the temple and put in place the sons of Esau, which were in league with. Don't think Esau was just an ignorant person that didn't know the law. Abraham taught his sons. Um, Isaac and Ishmael, they knew the law. Isaac taught Jacob and Esau the law. So don't think just because it's Esau and he's against the Most High that he didn't know. He did know. That was a problem. Because he did know. But he loved his flesh more than he loved truth. So anyway, during the time of the Maccabees, the descendants of Esau made league with the Greeks. So in this 8th chapter of John, I believe that they're having a conversation with the Messiah, and they make a statement. They say, I'll paraphrase. So, what are you talking about? We've been under bondage to no man. We've been under bondage. How can you be the descendants of Jacob and not have been under bondage? How can you be descendant of Jacob and be not under bondage? So it's about reconciling, bringing things together. So the Pharisees, this is why they were so contentious with Yehoshua, because they were actually descendants of Esau. The Pharisees were actually descendants of Esau. Descendants, not defendants. Descendants of Esau. Yehoshua was descendant of Jacob from the line of Judah. They knew who he was. They knew who he was. So that's just something you find in the New Testament. Okay. Okay, this is one I want. John, the 14th chapter. Let's see. Yes, this is the one I want. Hold on. Okay. I had to pause for a second there. Let's see. Okay. John 14th chapter, starting at verse 12. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. And whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. If you love me, keep my commandments. Hold on. Let me go back to 14. Verse 14. If ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. Now, here's where a lot of people go wrong with the words of the Messiah. Is he saying anything in totality? No. He's talking about anything according to the will of Yah. Anything that's in accordance to the will of Yah. That's what he's talking about. So if you, all these lying Satan worshiping preachers that have no knowledge of truth, but hold the truth. They have knowledge of truth, but they hold the truth in unrighteousness, according to Romans, the 1st chapter. They hold the truth in unrighteousness. They know the truth, and they intentionally withhold it to deceive. That they know these things, and they do things according. So what the Bible calls filthy lucre. It's filthy lucre when you have people giving their last, and you're riding around in a $200,000-$300,000 car and $1 million, multi-million-dollar plane, and living in a multi-million-dollar home, and people nowadays are really struggling. And you got these devils. I'm not even going there. Trying to promote that, the demonic, the mark of the beast. If you shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. If you ask anything in my name, what is his name? Truth, salvation, righteousness, the law. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yah, and the Word was Yah. The Word is the law. The Word is Yah. The same was in the beginning. The same was in the beginning. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us as Yehoshua. So he's not talking about just any old thing. I need a car. But you have a car. I need a multi-million-dollar plane so I can go out and preach my lies to the sheeple. That's not what the Most High is talking about. Okay, here's the meat of what I want to say. If you love me, keep my commandments, and I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever. Even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you. Even the Spirit of truth. Truth, the oldest and greatest endangered species. Truth, the oldest and greatest endangered species. So, as I was saying about YouTube in the beginning, you have so much censorship of truth nowadays. Algorithms that if you say certain words, it will either block your video, you can't post the video, a bunch of stuff. They are afraid of truth. They are afraid of who we are. They are afraid of us coming together. They are afraid of us coming together. The two sticks are coming together, whether they like it or not. It's all in the power of the Most High, and he cannot and will not be stopped. We have to work until night comes. Work while it is yet day. When night comes, no man can work. Is it talking about actual night? No. It's talking about when you've done all you've done, that the Most High has you've done all that the Most High has given you to do, and your work is complete. Now it's time to rest. Time to go to sleep. Time to be gathered unto your fathers. That's what it's talking about. Work while it's yet day. For when the night comes, no man can work. You can't work when it's time to sleep. You can't work when it's time to rest. When it's time to sleep. Until that time where he wakes us up. And the entirety of the work is done. And we will rejoice forevermore. To Yah be the glory. We thank Yah for his word. If you love me, keep my commandments. And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever. You got to understand, in my life, I've heard this taken out of context so many times. If you love me, keep my commandments. And I was like, well, why does it say, and I will pray? I was like, wait a minute. You can't separate those two scriptures. Those two scriptures go together. If you love me, keep my... Why does it say and? And is a point of continuation. There's something preceding and. If you love me, keep my commandments. And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever. Even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him. But ye know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you. So keeping the commandments is a prerequisite of receiving the Ruach, the Spirit of truth. Now, Yah, in his infinite wisdom, have given the Spirit to somebody that at one point is not keeping the commandments, but is on the verge, or he's intending to guide them into keeping the commandments. Because the one thing you can't have the Spirit of Yah, if it is the Spirit of Yah, and not keep his commandments. That just ain't happening. That's just not happening. You cannot have the Spirit of Yah and not keep his commandments. That's the Spirit of truth. To Yah be the glory. I'm done. We thank the Almighty Yah for his word, and I pray that you get a lot out of what has been spoken. This was completely off the cuff, and I don't normally go this route, but I thank Yah for how he's guided my mind today. Please, if you enjoy, if you get through the video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and leave your comments, both good, bad, and indifferent, and because I want to be better, and I want to hear your feedback. So, to Yah be the glory. May the Most High Yah bless thee and keep thee. May Yah's face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. May Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and be gracious unto thee. To Yah be the glory. Hallelujah. I said that wrong. May Yah bless thee and keep thee. May Yah bless thee and keep thee. May Yah's face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. May Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. To Yah be the glory. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.